Before yesterday, the Eagles were the man. They were the top dog. The Niners had to go in there and prove that they could beat the man. Not only did they prove it, they dismantled that organization, that fan base, and they had them rethinking their strategy moving forward. That was an absolute just beatdown. I don't even know. I'm looking for superlatives here. 42-19. You score on 6 straight possessions, all accounting for touchdowns. You go 6 for 6 in the red. I mean, you were perfect in the red zone. Debo's breaking off long ones. Ayuk's catching third down passes. To beat the man, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And the Niners dismantled the man.
Well, and they weathered the early storm. Like, think about it this way, B. It couldn't have got off to a worse start.
Oh, my gosh.
You had -6 yards or something like that.
Their first 6 plays, the Niners had -6 yards. First 6 plays of the game, -6 yards.
Then on first down, you get stuffed, and then you false start it on the third drive. It's 2nd and 15, and you've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm telling you, they got going with that little pass to Ayuk, and then boom, the third down play to Kittle, and there's a variety of things. But I'm going to start here. Deebo Samuel wrote checks with his booty all offseason. And yesterday, like that 15th and Valencia checks cash place, he was cashing checks in the end zone.
Is that the one you went to?
Well, that's the one I always think of in my mind.
Dick, I had the one on Fillmore Gary for so many years. Those check cashing spots. They had the one downtown by city limits in Midtown Ranch. Remember that one? Oh, they get you.
Back when I had, the bank, I owed the bank money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on.
I've been there. Listen, we're going to get to Malik on the East Coast. He's been waiting on hold for the longest.
But Debo talks so much smack, and then to back it up the way that he did yesterday.
I was never worried about Debo. I never worry about Debo. I never worry about him. He had his little thing in the offseason going into 2020, 22 or 2020, and then 2021, and then he's out of shape last year, and he got his money. But you know what? When he's on the field, he's a football player. he's a grown-ass man who could play any spot.
When he's running, I'm telling you, when he runs like this, when the hand's going like this, I know he's going to crash into somebody.
And nobody wants to tackle him. By the way, after the first quarter, the Niners gained over 8 yards per play.
Oh,
they had 28 after the first quarter. Listen to this. 8 yards per play. 28 rushes, 146 yards. That's 5.2 yards a carry. 5.2 yards a carry. 10.7 yards per pass. All right? Over 450 yards after the first quarter. They took a quarter off. They didn't wake up to the second quarter, and they dismantled the Eagles and dropped 40 on them. I mean, you're Philadelphia right there. You're thinking, we don't want to see this scene.
And that's with Greenlaw getting chucked. What was it? I had it written down. He got thrown out, ejected. Where did he get ejected, B? It was
third quarter, up 21-6.
I'm looking at it right here.
7 minutes left.
9-13, 9-19 in the third quarter. The Devontae pass, 57, throws him down. Then he's ejected. 9-19.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And they won going away. They scored another 22 points after that.
One going away.
21 points after.
One going away. Let's go to Malik on the East Coast. Malik, how's it going out there on the East Coast, Malik?
Oh, man, it's a great morning. Great morning. I just got in from work, smoking on that Eagle pack.
Yes, sir.
Go. Smoking around. I got some Obama runs. I had to roll up for the Eagle pack. They doing a lot of crying out here, man. They doing a lot of crying. Let me tell you, like 5 people called out of work today.
No.
I'm a truck driver, so 5 people called out of work. The boss is mad. I'm running around smiling, doing other people work, collecting that bag. Thank you. Now, my game ball goes to Kyle Shanahan for not getting too cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. And I want to say one thing. I live 15 minutes from Philadelphia in Jersey. I've been a Niner fan since '88. I'm 44 years old. And let me tell you, it's been a beautiful, and on my Facebook, they've been arguing. Eagles fans and Cowboys fans have been arguing on Facebook about who got blown out the worst. Oh, man, it's beautiful. They are literally fighting on Facebook about who got blown out the worst. This game ball goes to Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilkes are coming out of the booth to the field, looking these men in the face and letting them know that this is how we play. Thank you very much. Great show, guys. I'm over here on the East Coast. It's a beautiful morning.
you, man.
It's cold. And let me tell you, I'm about to roll up 2 more. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Have a great one.
Hey, Malik, what a call there.
Can I accentuate the Shanahan thing?
Yeah.
I thought Shanahan was brilliant. The clock management, they get the ball with 4 minutes to go, basically, in the second quarter.
Yep.
And they milked it perfectly.
And they doubled up.
Forced them to use timeouts. They just got to get the running. And Debo, by the way, on the swing pass, where he went down inbounds.
Inbounds.
And then jumped up and was like, that's how it's done.
Very smart.
It was so smart.
But you know what? I don't think Debo's going out of bounds anyway. He's not that type of player.
No, but no,
it was smart, though. He knew the clock.
Yes.
The clock and Shanahan is good with that. We always talked about Sean McVay and his time management coach. Shanahan, they did a great job at the end of the first half.
And then they get the ball back, okay? So it's 14-6 to start the third quarter. So they double up. Like we always talk about, double up.
Nipsey Hussle.
He threw a bad pass on 2nd and 5 to Ayuk. It should have been picked. The safety came flying up on it.
Blankenship. He had his hands on the ball.
It was a really nice play. But on 3rd down, he spreads it out, and it's like 5 wide. I'm like, Shanahan, what are you doing? But he clears everyone out, and it's just Jennings on a little option route over the middle. Boom, hits him. And later on, Elijah Mitchell comes in, they hand it to him, and it's a fake to him or whatever, and then they pitch it on an end around to Deebo Samuel. And Hassan Reddick got so far up the line with the aggression, Deebo just ran right by him. And I'm telling you, Shanahan was in his bag.
The first 2 possessions, first 6 plays, he drove me crazy. He drove me crazy. I'm not going to lie.
You're not alone.
He got a little too cute.
Alone.
I'm saying, let's run the ball north-south and run at their face. Run up at them. Don't run east-west. Don't let them use their speed on defense. What's going on here? First 7 plays was an absolute disaster.
Well, we were all thinking the same thing. Are you going to show up?
Right, but from that point on, when you double up on them, that was a 10-play, 90-yard drive in 4 minutes. Think about that. 90-yard drive in 4 minutes. You go 10 plays, 90 yards in 4 minutes, and you milk the clock perfectly, right? You milk it perfectly. Christian McCaffrey over left guard, 2 yards, boom, touchdown.
Oh, Banks was good in this game.
Aaron Banks was not. He's not the offensive line. After the first 6, 7 plays.
Jake Brendel?
Hey.
Did you hear Olsen call him Brendel?
Yeah, I did hear that.
I was like, somebody got to get my man the
Greg
pronunciation
Olsen, no doubt. But then you come out of halftime, and you go 7 plays, 75 yards. Big chunk plays, too. Yeah, big chunk plays. McCaffrey's running the ball, 5 yards. You get the pass to Juwan Jennings for 18. You get the Kittle. You get Kittle rolling again. It didn't the wheel route, which really set that drive up. 3rd and 3 at Philadelphia. Because I wonder.
Oh, my God.
I wonder. 3rd and 3. If they don't complete that pass, does Shanahan go for it on 4th and 3 at the Eagles' 45-yard line in that situation? But you know what? We don't have to find out.
They went for it on a 4th and 1 later in the game, and CMC had to run. And that was no gimme.
No, it was no gimme, but they got it with ease.
I thought they got a bad spot on the Juwan Jennings
It was a terrible
catch.
spot.
That was a great throw.
But you know what? And I thought Shanahan maybe should have challenged it. But you know what? He went for it on 4th and 1. He had no doubt they were going to convert that 4th and 1. He ran right at Philadelphia. He sensed it. But the wheel route to Christian McCaffrey there on 3rd and 3.
It was a perfect throw.
Purdy hit him perfectly. McCaffrey with the hands. And this is why having a home run hitting running back opens up this offense to another. Like, we talk about 30. Think about this, Shasky, for a second before you get to Todd in. And we get back out to the lines.
I'm ready to talk 24 straight hours on this game.
Deebo Samuel, in every game that he's played, because he got hurt the first play of the game in Cleveland. I'm not even going to count that one. Every game that he's been healthy for it, he's played. And you bring in Trent Williams because he wasn't healthy in that Cleveland game either. They scored over 30 points a game. All right? Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle, and Purdy.
Yeah.
When Purdy has all his weapons at his disposal, they're scoring over 30 a game.
It feels like the most complete offense since the 90s. And
maybe the most complete offense since 94. I was thinking 98.
Bonte,
they may have elevated over 98.
If you win it all, you might have an argument to be in there with that 89 team.
Yes.
That's how good CMC's been. Some of the stutter step, cut and go, and then to wiggle, and then the toughness. He finished some runs that he's just that's a bad man right there. He has been setting up the wheel route all year. He's gone inside, he's gone outside, and he finally took it upfield, and he set him up. Who was that, 41? Morrow? Who was that linebacker?
Morrow, the former Raider.
He had no chance of covering him.
The former
Zero
Raider,
chance.
Nicholas Morrow.
Did Byard play in that game?
But by the way,
did Byard play?
No, he didn't play.
See him have an impact at all. I thought Kittle was awesome too.
Darius Slay didn't want to tackle. He's out there quote tweeting Seth Joyner because Seth Joyner said our secondary doesn't want to tackle.
Wait a minute. Oh, they're infighting.
Oh, they're in-house fighting. They're fighting in-house in
Couldn't have
Philadelphia.
happened to a better group of guys.
And a better fan base. Listen, most touchdowns of their season. Most touchdowns of their season, franchise histories. Jerry Rice, obviously, 1987 with 23. Christian McCaffrey.
And that was in a shortened season.
It was a shortened season. Christian McCaffrey had 17 touchdowns, tying Jerry Rice, who had 17 touchdowns in 1995 and 1989. Think about that, Jerry
That's
Rice.
incredible.
It's incredible, right?
That's what you do in Madden.
Right, exactly. Christian McCaffrey may break Jerry Rice's single-season record for most touchdowns in the season. That is possible, folks. That is possible.
Look, I know I said it, and I'm like, I think Jerry's the greatest football player ever. I think you're looking at one of the most talented football players to ever put on a Niner uniform, and I don't say that flippantly. CMC has no hole in his game. Nick, name the hole.
No, he doesn't. This is why I wanted the guy over.
I mean, he's one of the.
You know,
he's a first ballot Hall of Fame talent. The only question we have is, can you stay healthy and can you do it for long enough? That's literally it.
But you know, when people tell me, man, I'm so surprised that McCaffrey's doing all this, I'll say, why? Because everybody plays fantasy football. Chris McCaffrey's always a top 5 pick in fantasy football when he's healthy. Always.
Yeah, but there's an element of like fantasy football. Like Matt Stafford was a great fantasy football player, and people were like, yeah, but can he win real games? Like, I guess just because you're good in fantasy doesn't equate to you're a winning player on a winning team.
But it shows how the common fan thinks
I hear you.
As just a 3-down back who can catch the ball out of the backfield because we thought PPR, wow, Chris McCaffrey's going to catch the ball. Wow, running game, he's going to get you about 100 yards a game. Wow, he's going to get about 22 to 25 touches a game. And you notice yesterday, Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason didn't sniff that game to the second half. And that's how it should be.
Well, they set up the Elijah Mitchell fake on the Debo end around by using him the weeks prior. So to me, I think that Shanahan deserves credit. The CMC thing. I'm at the Pac-12 championship game on Friday night, and it's the final Pac-12 championship game, and it's only been around I think like a decade or maybe 12 years.
Yeah.
So they throw up all of the different, like, these are the leaders all time in Pac-12 championship game history. Most tackles, most scrimmage yards comes up.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Number 2, 270 yards.
Right.
Number 1, Christian McCaffrey, 450.
Yes.
450. He doubled and then some the next closest guy. And I'm saying to myself, so the guys around me are like, Christian McCaffrey had 450 plus scrimmage yards in a Pac-12 championship game. And I go, doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I
should have won the Heisman.
He should have won the Heisman. I remember that game against USC. We played the highlights.
Labonte,
I'm telling you, man, I was at all these games
since day one.
Laura Wakefield tagged me in a photo the other day saying goodbye to the Pac-12 championship. And in that slide was a photo of me right behind Christian McCaffrey at Stanford with the recorder. This guy was box office, man. Where we been at? This is why.
Box office?
Dude, when I was banging the table for this guy, I'm like, he's a sleeping giant at Carolina. And it's, again, great organizations feast on bad organizations and pry great players away from them. You bring a guy like that to your culture, it's going to take your offense to another level. That Pac-12 championship game against USC, he had the Engelwright Texas route on the big third down that went for like 70-plus yards. And got the down on the first. He had a punt return in that game. He had a receiving touchdown in that game. He literally carried Stanford to a victory, and that was probably the best Pac-12 championship game up until last Friday with Washington and Oregon. Christian McCaffrey's been that guy. And now he's got Shanahan and Brock Purdy, and you got Debo on the side of you.
And George Kittle.
This is why you don't mess with the weaponry.
And Trent.
You keep these guys together for as long as you can.
I totally agree.
I don't care about giving extensions, pay the guy. You keep these guys together.
Yes.
Figure it out because they go so. We always talk about the big three. We just celebrated 11/30/23 day with the Golden State Warriors. By the way, they play a game on Wednesday against the Blazers. Draymond Green bobblehead day. Draymond Green bobblehead.
Oh, there it is.
Draymond Green bobblehead. He actually talks. There it is right there. Draymond Green bobblehead day. 7 o'clock gets the Portland Trail Blazers.
So Dre's going to go straight from Philadelphia, rip off the 57 jersey, and go play in an NBA game?
And go play against the Blazers as the Warriors blew 2 20-point leads on the road last week.
Draymond Greenlaw is the greatest nickname of all time.
We always discussed how well Steph and Clay and Dre worked so well off of each other. Well, you bring in Christian McCaffrey last year, and everybody, early on it was like, well, you don't really need Debo anymore. They're kind of redundant. Oh, yes, you do. You keep both of them. You line them both in the backfield. You can motion one. They were motioning out Christian McCaffrey, leaving Debo in the backfield by himself. You keep these guys together because they play so well off of each other. The gravity that Christian McCaffrey creates, the gravity that Debo Samuel creates. Now all of a sudden, Brendan Ayuk's playing the easiest football of his life. Oh, I get to go one-on-one? I'm one of the best route runners in the NFL. How about this third down conversion? How about that third down conversion? And then Brock Purdy's like, oh, yeah, I had this number 85 here, George Kittle, that in case everything goes haywire, I'm going to just dump it off to George Kittle, and he'll make something happen.
You referenced it, and I wrote it down, too. I'm so glad you did. The play where he chips Hassan Reddick, and it turns into a screenplay, that set the tone. He ran through some souls. He got up and was like, yeah, nobody's stopping me on this field.
Nobody.
He's in his prime.
Nobody. That was a big play, 32-yard play right there after a 10-yard Christian McCaffrey run.
They had
and that got the Niners rolling.
Plays in this game.
Big chunk plays.